Hello, everyone, to another episode of the Definitive Crusade. I'm your host, joining me, Hughes, and to say it's been a rough week, well, I'm on the beer, so that tells you what sort of show we've got going on this time around. Joining me, as always, from across the big pond, it is the lovely Freyja with some
Hey
pirate
guys,
game going on. Hey,
pirate! You called me a pirate?
yeah, ahoy, matey! I suppose.
Ahoy!
Yeah, ahoy!
I just need the patch and the peg leg.
Well,
Maybe.
yeah, and that's a conversation for another day.
Yeah.
And making a welcome return to the fold, it is the Knight, Matthew. Matthew.
Konnichiwa. I heard something about begging.
Matthew, sorry.
Sorry. Hello, everyone. It has been an interesting week. I'm glad to be back. I'm not glad that the sun is currently blanching my face and I have no control over it.
Well, I was going to say you are the oxymoron for night if it's that daylight. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Hey, speaking of which, one of the books we're covering.
Indeed. Before we get to the books, there's been a couple of things I would like to talk about, possibly. So last time we were here, we were talking about the big news from DC in relation to their movies, or otherwise known as the Gunverse. An alternative source other than ourselves has since tweeted about at the end of the Flash movie, there will be an introduction to the new Batman for Brave and the Bold, which is the Batman movie which features the Robin. So the news is it's one of these three punks.
Really?
Yeah, so we have, going left to right as I'm looking at it, we have Bat Nipples himself, Val Kilmer. We have comedy guru George Clooney, and then we have Amber Man.
Yeah.
No. I want to just straight up say it's most likely not Val Kilmer.
Right. So this is my this is my question. Who do you think it is and why? All right. Go. Freya,
Christian Bale, probably.
Why?
Because his trilogy was really popular and they actually were able to get a trilogy out of it.
He's the
and
youngest.
he is the youngest. I'm not ageist. I'm just, let's be real. He can move around in the suit and stuff. And like I said, his trilogy was really popular.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
it is more than likely going to be an action movie.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody who can move around a lot better is going to be the more advantageous to cast.
Mm-hmm. So Matthew, is that you going with Bale again?
I'm probably going to go with Bale.
Okay. So what about story-wise? So we can knock Val Kilmer on the head straight away.
Yeah.
For obvious reasons. That's not a detriment to Val Kilmer's Batman. But you say Val Kilmer, we know exactly the situation he's facing. Story-wise, Christian Bale's Batman. It's done. There's no more. There's no. That's it. He's been replaced.
Yeah.
So they can't go back on that, surely, can they? And therefore spoil the trilogy.
I mean, it could be an alternate universe. I mean, if you look at the Flash movie, who are they bringing back in the Flash movie?
Indeed. Fair enough. That's a fair point. So then my question is, why can't it be George Clooney?
I'm going to say it's the same reason that I mentioned before, is the fact that Bale is the youngest and can probably move around better than George Clooney can for an action movie.
Yeah, you got to think, are they expecting to only do one movie or multiple? And if they're doing multiple, you'd probably want to go with the younger guy. Honestly, if I'm going to be straight up, I don't want it to be any of the past Batmans. I want a new Batman. And I do not want freaking Cedric Diggory as Batman anymore. He always looks like freaking Robert Pattinson. He always looks like he needs a shower. He looks slimy. He looks gross. I don't want him as Batman ever again.
Oh, is this some sort of Harry Potter joke thing?
Yes, I don't remember his name. I remember him as dying in Harry Potter.
Robert Pattinson played Cedric Diggory in the Harry Potter series.
I could also call him Edward Cullen.
He also played Edward Cullen in the Twilight series.
I knew that. I knew it was him.
He definitely looked a lot more shiny in that one.
I knew he was in Potter, but as you all know, I am probably the only Brit in the world that hates Harry Potter. So, fine. All right, then. So,
Now, I
Freyja-
do have to point out this line of thought that just occurred to me is that if they do bring one of the older men back for Batman, it could be from the viewpoint of having old man Bruce, kind of how we see in one of the upcoming books that we're going to review today.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a shout. So a George Clooney character could do that, especially because he's got perennial grey hair anyway. Who would be your Batman for the movie, Matthew? Because you kind of missed the conversation last time around. The popular choice seems to be, what's his supernatural face? Jensen Ackles.
Jensen Ackles. He did
Jensen
great as...
Well, Jensen Ackles is Batman. He voices Batman in one of the most recent movies.
That he does.
And so he would be a fit because he's played the character before.
And he's played Soldier Boy, so he's played that superhero esqueness
all right,
too.
okay. So we're saying for anyone who's played Batman can play Batman. Right, so somebody call up Reno Romano, please. Yeah, he was great as the Batman.
But here's the thing. Not only was he the voice of Batman, we also have seen him as an actor, and he's great that way too. So he can do the superhero. So like I said, he was in The Boys. We've seen him do the superhero stuff. So even though he wasn't really a superhero, as everyone knows in The Boys, they're not superheroes. But that's the thing. We've seen him and what he can do in that space.
Well, in that case, bring back Bruce Greenwood, who was Batman in Young Justice and in Batman movies, including, I'll hasten to add, Under the Red Hood. So
yeah, but you're getting old people because you're old. Stop choosing the older actors, man. Jensen Ackles he would be an older and more mature Bruce, but he's not like the older Bruce. Because how old is Bruce Greenwood?
I don't know.
He was born in 1956.
Was he?
Yes, he's 66 years old, Johnny.
Perfect.
No, if you're going for like Batman Beyond, which I would be totally fine with if they had Batman Beyond and they had older Bruce in the Batcave, I'd be totally on for that. But they're not going to do that. So if they're not going to do that, we need someone who can do the action stunts and everything, because freaking it just is what it is. Your body doesn't bounce back like it used to when you get older. It's just how biology works.
I'm not saying that Jensen Ackles is my pick, but I'm just saying like he's a good option for that role.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who are good options.
I'm not saying anything that CGI rules, and that's why people are going off superhero movies to start with.
CGI sucks. I am so sick of CGI. I'm with you. It's the reason the Hobbit movies were one of the reasons why the Hobbit movies were trash. The overuse of CGI, because you go back and you watch the Lord of the Rings movies, and they're still fantastic with the practical effects. And then you go and you watch the Hobbit, and you're like, oh, gall, these CG effects suck.
Bear in mind before you get on one of your rides.
Sorry,
I had the misfortune of watching Wakanda Forever today.
Oh.
And apart from the emotional element of the first act and the last bit, I'm like, this film could have been halved. It's absolutely terrible. And the CGI is just horrendous. All right,
Johnny, you're not allowed to have an opinion. You're a white guy.
That's a topic for another channel.
Am I allowed my beer?
Yeesh. Yeesh.
All right. Okay. Talking about diversification of the character. In a week's time, I thought it was this week, so apologies. We get to see this young lady.
Yeah.
This is the new Catwoman.
Yes.
Hinted in the ongoing series as being Selena's sometimes on-off romance. She's wore the cat costume at least once. This is the new Catwoman while Selena does time. So, Freyja, you love this costume, right?
I despise this costume.
May I ask why?
Freaking armpits, man. Well, it's stupid. Why is she? It's not a jacket. That's not a jacket. That's like leftover scraps of a jacket.
It's a shrug. Do you have shrugs over there?
No, I've always thought these were stupid. Like the little sweaters that go below your breasts barely. They're the dumbest looking shit I've ever seen. I hate it so much. Women's fashion is some of the dumbest bull crap I have ever had to witness in my life. And it makes shopping so hard. I'm like, I want a jacket. Oh, here's one that's right under your breast line. Like, how the hell is that going to keep me warm in the winter? Like, oh, at least my tits are warm. Like,
The
everything
important
else
part.
is cold, but at least my breasts are not nice and toasty because it's the only thing covered. It's stupid. It's the dumbest look. Just put her in a one-piece cat suit and it'd be awesome. Just go. It's just so. And I hate the gray. I hate how it's like the dark black and then it just goes gray. It's ugly. I despise it. And the stupid cat ears.
See, I kind of like the coloration on it. Like the style, yeah, I'm agree with you. There's no point in having something.
Wait.
Oh, my arms are super cold, but the rest of my body is really warm.
Oh,
So
is she Asian?
Ridiculous.
Yes.
Of course, she has to have the katana. Let's,
Mm.
make sure we
But-
have that stereotype. Right
So
there.
my
sorry,
question,
sorry,
my,
Knight. Sorry,
my
sorry.
question is, why do you have a garter belt if you haven't got stockings on? I don't understand the garter belt.
It's just
Everything else I get. I mean, those are the boots from the utilitarian look. The catsuit, the grey's been worn many times.
It's her ass kicking outfit. Just okay.
This is kind of like from the new one that she's
with the
wearing
garter belt on the
recently.
outside.
Yeah. Do you appreciate? I said garter belt, not suspender belt. Do you appreciate how
Yeah.
American?
What's a suspender belt?
It's that. That's what we call that in the
Oh, I
UK.
would have been so confused about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Talking
But I
about.
know that suspenders to you guys are the things that blokes wear that keep the trousers up.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we call them braces. So
Also, I'm gonna just say it. She has a really long torso. It could just be like how she's bending, but like, man, she seems long.
Yeah.
languid.
I can see that. Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. There's a word.
The word of the day, languid, for all of our children viewers out there. Go look it up right now.
Go look it up. Yes, go look it up. I'm here to help. I'm interested to see where it goes. The replacement heroes never tend to last that long length of time. This isn't the first time Catwoman's been replaced in her own book. No, we'll see. We'll see.
Ugh. Ugh.
I was speaking to someone recently, and who was it? I can't remember who it
I don't
was,
know.
but they were saying how much they love Joelle Jones, Catwoman run, and I was like, really?
You do you, man. You do you.
I was like, the writing or the art? Like, which bit? All right, okay. So there's our conversation pieces done for today. We're so bad that somebody's pouring a glass of Coke.
That would be me.
Yep.
I need something to drink. Excuse me.
That's all right.
I've
You
already gone through my main drink, so I've got my secondary drink right here.
I'm on my second.
Well, thanks to the good old time zones, beer o'clock. That's all I'm saying. All right, and you're going to need some beer o'clock for this next book. It is Freyja's choice, so prepare, strap yourselves in. This is Danger Street number 3 of 12. It's a black label book. I like the way Freyja's going, oh no, it's so bloody thick. It's written by Tom King, art by Jorge Fornes, colours by Dave Stewart, who gets a couple of name checks this week, and letters by Clayton Cowles. So, Freyja, other than Fornes aping Jack Kirby's art style, what the hell is going on in this book?
Okay, so we're following like 4 different groups of people, right? So it originally started out with what was it, Starman, Metamorpho, and Warlord trying to join the Justice League and being dumbasses about it and summoning Darkseid.
Oh,
So that as you do, which obviously does not go well because it's Darkseid.
Darkseid is.
Darkseid is Darkseid.
Yeah,
And so things happen. I have to go back and reread a lot. They accidentally get someone murdered, and that's why Lady Cop's there, and she's trying to like figure out who murdered them and stuff. And so I honestly am still very confused as to what the hell's going on. But apparently this whole series is based off of some book back in the 70s.
New Gods, perhaps?
It wasn't New Gods. It was, what was it? It was
Jimmy Olsen.
It was something like first editions. It was nothing but they released nothing. It was 1975 or something. I was reading. And along with characters, they're featured in 1970. I can't remember, but anyway. So it's interesting. Everyone's trying to. So I have no idea what's going on, but with that, it's
Okay, I can
supposed to
help
be.
you out with this.
It's supposed to be like a crime drama, but I really like the art style. I really did, even though I was completely lost story wise. But I think I'm gonna go back. That one kid that got picked up.
Mm-hmm.
When he was talking, I was very confused about what he was talking about. At first, I had to reread one line like 6 times. To be like, what is he saying? It's when he's like, what page? Like 15. He's on the little diving board.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what do we know? Someone killed Looks, and the other guy, and this other guy. Sorry. And I was like, wait, what? Because I guess someone's name is Looks, and I was super confused. So I just sat there rereading that. I'm like, is this an editing error, or am I just stupid? Because I'm like, it's a page before he's on the diving board. Because I was like, because somebody killed Looks. And I was like, what? Somebody killed Looks? What? So I kept reading. I guess someone's name is Looks, so.
Okay, I imagine so.
So I was just so confused. I'm like, what? Who? What? What is this? But then again, I didn't read the other ones.
Somebody killed Lux and this other big guy. So Lux must be his name.
Yeah, I was like, because I thought I just read it wrong at first. I was like, what? But I was like, who names someone Looks? It's stupid.
Nickname.
But still stupid.
Maybe his middle name's both and his last name's Ways.
Oh, jeez. But
I'll let that sink in. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know. But I like the use of these characters that aren't like we never see. I always enjoy seeing the what'd you call it? C-listers? I don't even know what
Red listers?
Yeah.
We've ran out less for these punks.
Yeah, I also like the gas station guy. He's like, I thought you were going to show me mug shots, not superhero pictures. Yeah. Like, what?
Crazy. So, Matthew, did you have any more luck working out what the hell is going on in this book?
No. I was so confused.
Let's make a pact just now. Let's just make a pact. Let's pick books we know stuff about. Just so we know.
I was going to read the previous issues, and life came and smacked me around this week, and I just didn't get to it.
All right, that's a fair shout. Life gets in
there. I do agree with Freyja. I think the artwork's really well done. They did the thing that we all agree that we don't like, which is blurring out the curse words.
Yeah.
Especially it's a Black Label book. It's a Black Label book, right?
Exactly. Swear. It's a Black Label book.
Yeah. Also, the guy who comes in and goes, "Who are you kids to my pool?" If you've ever seen Teen Hunger Force.
He looks like Carl.
He looks like Carl from Teen Hunger Force. Just like
Teen Hunger Force.
That guy?
Yeah, that guy.
He does. He looks like Carl. Yeah.
But I didn't know who these characters were. I didn't know why these kids were talking about getting a gun of some kind. It didn't sit right with me. But it was a TLDR, honestly.
A what?
A TLDR, too long, didn't read.
Oh no!
I skimmed through the book. I'm picking up pieces.
So what I picked up from the kids is that their friend was killed by the blue guy, and so they want to get the blue guy, and they get a gun so they can kill the blue guy because he killed their friend.
I was all right up to that point, and then it all went a bit Pete-tongue by having Calabac and Darkseid in it. I was like, what? And then what's Ryan got to do? I was like, you know what? I don't know what I'm supposed to be smoking to understand it, but I don't have any of it. So,
why is the mighty shiny helmet beating up William Shakespeare?
Exactly.
Forsooth, for thy is a villain if I have ever seen villainy. Or some such thing. I know we talk about Tom King a lot, and I know you guys get on my case about the art style and direction of Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the best book that came out last year. But swear to God, tell me that book art-wise looks better than the 9-panel page of the Google logo. Please tell me. Yes?
That was excessive and stupid.
Yeah,
I'm just done with the 9 panels in general. I don't care what's on them.
I mean, I get 9
panels.
panels if there's something going on, but 9 panels of someone trying to type blue people. And also, you type blue superheroes. I wonder why Blue Beetle didn't come up.
He did come up.
Did he?
Yeah, she has a picture of Blue Beetle.
And
Blue Superman.
Original,
I can't remember his name.
Original Blue Beetle.
And original Blue Beetle and the other one.
The Jaime Reyes?
I think Jaime's there too. It's on page 21, I think.
Oh man, I'm jumping around the pages here.
And then there's the Blue Superman, whose name I don't remember.
I didn't even know there was a Blue Superman. So that was new to me.
See, there's the one on the top, and then there's the one down there. Yeah.
So there's the blue. There's the Blue Devil.
Mm-hmm.
There's Blue Beetle. That's one of the blue lanterns. The Atom.
The Atom. Yeah, I think so. Jaime Reyes,
Superman, and then that's a bad guy. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, whose name I don't know.
And whose name I don't.
I was reading. I was like, I was hoping they'd say his name, but nope, never did.
Nope, they're not helping you. So Freyja, next time pick a book we know something about.
Hey, at least I didn't pick Harley Quinn or something.
You know, I looked at that. I looked at the Harley Quinn book. I thought I'll go with this, and I started looking at it. I was like, yeah, I can't pick this. This is. I can't do this. I really can't. I wasn't even going to pick. I wasn't going to pick my choice because I'm kind of sick of talking about it, to be honest. But
yeah, well, I mostly picked this because I like the art style a lot.
Yeah, well, Jack Kirby is referenced a hell of a lot. So if you like Jack Kirby and you like some of those fourth world characters that come out of the New Gods and my pal Jimmy Olsen, and from the original Danger Street series, which is the book Freyja was talking about from 1975, which is a 13-issue mini-series of its own, written by Carmen Infantino, then you know what? You might really like this. If, however, you're going in to just buy something and peruse something, yeah, don't. Okay, cool.
Yep.
PSA completed.
Don't be like us. Read the first issues.
Yeah, don't let life get in the way between issues 1 and 3. That would be a good shout.
Yeah.
Talking of multi-issues, we've got this bad boy. This is Matthew's choice, and it is generally one of Josh's favorites as well. This is Batman Beyond the White Knight. This is book 8. It's another Black Label book, written and drawn by Sean Murphy, colors by Dave Stewart. Again, getting double pay from DC this week. And world design is on the letters. Right. Before we get into this, I will say this. I've not been a huge fan of this because I don't like how it mixes everything up and then tries to present the whole. But that's just me. Matthew, this was your choice. Why'd you go with this book, sir?
I picked this one because I was like, ooh, Batman Beyond. That was the reason I picked it. I haven't read any of the other issues. I haven't read any of the other issues. I just saw Batman Beyond. And as I mentioned before, for anybody listening, I've had some tech problems this week, and so I didn't have access to our books like normal. And so Freyja ended up sending me screenshots of our books. And I just saw one. I was like, Batman Beyond. That one sounds interesting. And so I grabbed it, picked it up. Honestly, for something that I'm jumping into the middle of, it's book number 8. I enjoyed it. This is definitely a book that if you want to pick up a comic and read or just look at action panels, this one has a lot of it. This book in particular has a lot of action going on through it, you know, between the Batwing carrying the Batmobile, Terry flying around, Jason and I want to say Dick were fighting around. There's a lot of action in this book. Batman, or older Batman, is seen with Harley Quinn driving the Batmobile with a hologram of Joker. I don't know exactly why he's a hologram. Actually, no, I do. If I remember correctly, there is a reason why. It's because he's a fail-safe program of Jack Napier, which was in one of the canons, multiverses that Jack Napier is the name
Jack
of
Napier's-
the Joker.
Yeah. So Jack Napier is the Joker in this book in the whole White Knight series. Jack Napier being the Joker from Batman '89.
Yeah.
There you go. And this is why my problem lies with the book. It tries to throw in the animated series, tries to bring in Batman '89, and does all sorts of crazy crap. Sorry to interrupt. Off you go. I'm just adding context to help you out.
And
There you go.
and that may be the reason why there's one panel in particular. I saw the Red Hood, so everybody knows I'm a massive Red Hood fan. So I was like, oh hey, Jason's in this. Cool, I love it. And Dick does a line to Jason where he's like, when did you start using guns? And I was like, what are you talking about? Red Hood has always used guns. And so it threw me off. That's why I get some negative points there. Just some weird linings. Also, if you go back 1 or 2 pages, that one right there, Bruce is copping a feel, my dude.
Oh, yeah,
Bruce
he
is
is.
copping a feel.
I mean, why wouldn't you, right?
Right? I mean, admittedly,
we're
older
going to-
Harley.
Obviously,
Older Harley has some MILF energy. If I'm being completely honest.
all I'm saying about this is if Harley didn't want to cop a feel there or have a touched up by Bruce, she should have worn a coat that went longer than her boobs, right?
Let's be real. If they're doing the animated one, she's already macked on Bruce.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
She's already macked on him already.
and they hold hands at the end of the issue, but it's a really I enjoyed it. You know, as much as the comic book goes, that I didn't know much about going into. It had a lot of action in it. It had some decent writing. The artwork, I thoroughly enjoyed the artwork. I think there was a couple of panels where like somebody's face disappeared or somebody's linings didn't quite work. But overall, I really enjoyed the artwork here. Powers is a really cool design.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Powers' design. Joker's daughter was a cool character. If I was to rate this book, I'd give it a solid 8 out of 10. For somebody who's just going in, not knowing much about it, it's really good. Also, the little extendo hammer that Harley has is adorable. It legitimately made me laugh on the panel where it extendoed and she went bonk on the guy. That was good. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Good shout. I think you've covered that pretty well. Freyja, what was your take on this? Because we see this quite a lot, this book, but we never talk about it a whole lot. It's kind of like its own little niche universe. What's your take on this?
Well, my take is, first of all, what happened to Bruce? Because from what I remember from Batman Beyond, Bruce was not ultra fit, big, moving around man. Still, he was walking with a cane. I mean, he could still kick ass, but like, he wasn't doing this acrobatic shit that he's doing in this. So I'm really confused. I'm like, what happened to this Bruce in this universe? Is because I'm very confused. But then again, like you said, they're mixing all these different universes together. So maybe this is just how Bruce is in this one.
Exactly.
So I'm like, I don't know. It is issue 8. It's good to see Nightwing again. It took me a while to figure out that was Nightwing. I was like, who are these people? Also,
has a
who are
slightly
these?
different outfit, but
Yeah. Well, because they introduced him, he just has the mask on. And they're fighting about who is Robin. I'm like, okay, so who is this? And then he's like, I was the first. I'm like, okay, so it's Dick Grayson and Red Hood. They're arguing with each other. I don't like the design of Jack or Joker in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He just seems not Joker. I don't know. He just doesn't seem like Joker.
well, he's Jack.
Harley, I know. I like Harley. I like her little pico hammer or whatever it's called. I have the extendo hammer. She's smirking. She knows Bruce is copping a feel. She's fine with it. Let's be real. But story-wise, like I don't know what's going on completely. I just know they're trying to save Joker's daughter or Harley's daughter, whoever you want to call it. Blight is always a good time. That's why I want a Batman Beyond movie so badly.
Mhm.
Is like his villains, like Blight and Ink and stuff, are so cool, and we have
Ink's
like
gorgeous. I love Ink. You're right.
Ink's great, and we're into like the cyberpunk stuff right now. I'm like, this
Mm.
is the perfect time to do a Batman Beyond movie. Just do it. Get Terry, you know, because then you can have your because Terry's Asian, isn't he? Or is he half? Because he's like Bruce's clone or something.
He's Bruce's clone. I don't think he's supposed to be.
But his
half
mom,
Asian.
but his mom's Asian, and
No,
I thought she was.
his girlfriend's Asian.
His girlfriend's Asian. It's been a while.
I
But
know
anyway,
there's someone Asian in there somewhere.
I know that someone's something, but then you have cat people and stuff and whatnot. So you could do a lot of really cool things.
Yeah.
Splicers.
Called splicers.
Yeah, the splicers. And I think it would be a perfect time to have Batman Beyond appear because we have the technology to have like you said, the CG and stuff to make him look cool as he's flying and stuff. And Blight would be amazing to see in live action, and Ink would be amazing to see in live action. It would be so cool. And then we could bring back the older Batmans, like not Val Kilmer, but you know, anyone else that you want, because then we could have the older Bat Bruce, and we could have I just think it would be fantastic. But back to the book. I liked it, but I always like Blight. He's so cool looking. I like he punches his jaw off of him. It's amazing. And Joker's daughter is. I like this design better than some of her other previous designs. I don't remember her name.
Joella Dent, is it not?
Is it?
That was the original Joker's daughter.
I don't know what her name is in this one. But can I just say, and he's holding Harley's hand, or she's holding his hand because he looks kind of shocked that she snacks his hand.
But he likes it.
And they like intertwine their fingers too, so it's not like that. They're like so I'm like, they're gonna bang or something.
It's an interesting point.
They're interlocking fingers.
They're already locking fingers. He's confident feel of it. She's looking at him.
I've never put any serious thought into whole Batman and Batman and Harley together. I've never really thought about it, but as she becomes more and more in the current continuity, as she becomes more and more less anti-villain and then starts doing decent things. This book, Sean Murphy's got it absolutely right. It's Harley that works out that Bruce needs the mask, not Bruce.
Yeah.
It's Harley that allows him to be who he needs to be. And I think that actually adds a level of intimacy to their relationship. You know? And I think we saw them, you know, she kissed him in Harley's Holiday episode of the Batman animated series. I think there's always going to be an attraction there, but from her part at least. I don't know. Is it something that the powers that be are going to go down that route? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
But I would love to see it though. I like Bruce getting with everyone, to be perfectly honest. I like my Playboy Bruce. I like that.
Batman harem.
Yeah.
But for me, it does get a little bit. You think, oh, I prefer the Tumblr as kind of like a throwaway gag line, as you'd expect from a Joker. And then the damn Tumblr turns up. I'm like, and this is kind of my problem with it. I like the idea, I really do, but can we not just be a little bit? Maybe it's me just being too stick in the mud. I don't know. But I kind of like my bat family to have one universe, not have it all mashed together.
Yeah.
So a Flash movie after all.
Yeah. Oh, can I also say, what the hell did they do to Diana?
Well, you can always say that.
Like, what did they do to her? She's wearing an ascot, for God's sakes. What did they do to Diana? And it's just...
Sorry. Sooner or later, the other superheroes are going to get involved, but that's a different matter. Time for one of our breaks, and we will go with... Sorry, Matthew?
I was just saying, woo, break time.
Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a headache. It might be...
Oh.
Yeah,
God.
sorry.
Yeah, now that you're saying it.
It might be a migraine. the No Prize podcast. Check out that show. Drops alternative weeks to us for all your Marvel, your MCU, and your Disney Plus info. So imagine next time around you're going to get some Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. You might get some Ant-Man 3 if you're really, really unlucky. Other than that, there will be some other comic book stuff shenanigans on there as well. All right, so it drops the week between us. There you go. Check it out. All right, next up is my choice. And I kind of went with this purely because I saw something on Twitter that said, just so you know, Steph dies. And I was like, what? So that kind of drew me in. All right, so this is Batgirls 15, written by Becky Cloonan with Michael W. Conrad. Neil Goods on art, Rico Renzi is on colors, and Frank Savetkovic. Like how I got that right? Yeah, is on letters. So, who would like to start us off on this? Frey, I'm going to say Freyja.
It's your book. Why don't you start?
It's you start. It's your book.
No, I'm not starting. I always go last.
Oh, sorry.
No.
Rules are the rules.
No. Okay.
Huh? We go to Freyja book. She goes first. We go to my book. I go first. It's your pick. You go first.
No, my rules. Off you go.
The rules are how I said them right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's gonna be straight up honest and straight up. The artwork is not for me, to say the least.
Yeah.
They have little stick figure arms, and I don't like that. I mean, it's very Invader Zim-esque. The arms with like a little. It's just I like Invader Zim, but I don't like this art style. May not just be, it's just probably not geared towards me. Steph dies for like 3 panels, maybe. They're like, oh yeah, I have this super serum. Here you go. And then she's alive. I'm like, okay. So
yeah,
it was also very confused about the face mask on Orphan that just disappears.
She rips it off.
When? Where?
Let me get there.
Oh wait, I see her little fingers. Okay.
It says rip, doesn't it?
It says rip, yeah. I was like, what? Okay. I was like, what?
The question is, you don't see it stitch it back on. So
that's the thing, though, because it's back on. Like the very next time you see them, it's stitched back together.
Maybe it's Velcro.
Velcro mask.
Well, it has to be something. I mean, how else does a poor girl eat on a stakeout, right?
Exactly. She's got to eat. I don't know. It's just this whole book was not really for me. The second book wasn't for me. They kind of tried to go the gruesome route at the end, but I don't know. It's not for me. I can't knock it because the art style is consistent in the way that it is, but
all right, okay,
I just don't like it. So I didn't want to go first, Johnny.
Like,
there's nothing to rant about because, like, it's just the style doesn't. It's just not my style, you know.
All right, that's fine. It's totally cool. Matthew.
I have to agree with Frey on this one. Like the story, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Follows from the previous issues. The artwork definitely makes Steph, thank you. Like her lips. I don't know. She looks like a blow up doll. They're too full.
I don't really want to know how you know that.
Yeah, it kind of does. It also kind of looks like she's constantly biting her lower lip too.
Mm-hmm. And whenever they do the shading on her teeth, you know, adding the lines for the teeth, I think they do it a little too thick in some areas, so it looks like she's missing some.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's weird. The art style is definitely a take. It's definitely a style. It's not for me. I can appreciate it because you can definitely tell there was work put into it. They did a good job following their art style, but for me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, Cass looks anorexic in some areas, so as a
it's
crime
just-
fighting hero, you really don't want to be anorexic.
She's very stick figure-y. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Okay. Cool. Fair shout.
And they
All-
definitely took, Steph died at the end. And then immediately 3 panels later, you're like, oh, yep, you're alive. That really just took it out of the story for me. At least wait like a day or something, or like 3 seconds.
At least try to find a Lazarus pit. Don't just have some of this, on you.
Yeah. Just like,
So-
oh, look at this
okay.
MacGuffin I have. There you go. You're alive.
Magic
was-
MacGuffin.
I'm not going to mention that the MacGuffin was used a couple of issues.
I
It has
know.
been part of the ongoing story. It's not like
Okay,
I just have it.
I remember us discussing the first book when
Where they
this
got-
first dropped. You picked it up, and we all, I think we all liked it because it followed Cass's story, but there wasn't like words and stuff. It was all just action
Yeah.
panels. So
Yeah.
that was real. I think we all had a unanimous take there that we thought that was really cool.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Actually, it's a ridiculous point you bring up there because the artist on that book was different than this one. This is the regular artist who does this book, and I'd kind of grown accustomed to this art style. As I mentioned on the previous pod or last time we talked about this, I am the only person in my local comic book shop that gets this book. Nobody else buys it. So that means it's going to get cancelled soon. So to come back to this style after the last issue was a bit of a jarring thing. But if you've been reading it from the get-go, you kind of get it. I've left this page up for a reason. We looked at 9 panel pages in the Danger Street book with the Google image.
Mhm.
This is how you do a 9 panel page. Look at that. There's motion through every single one.
Yeah.
Yep. You've got Cass tripping the wire, spotting the trap, missing the first one, Clue Master doing something shady, Cass missing out all the needles, Clue Master doing something shady, Cass moving. That's how you do a 9 panel page to get people to move on to the next pages. So hands down to let me just get his name again because I put Neil Good who put the panel design in for that. Or if it was Clunan and Conrad, well done for going with that route because I think that's a really good way of doing it. If you like Batgirls, it's because you like Cass and you like Steph, and that's kind of how it works. If you like Cass but you don't like Steph, or you like Steph and you don't like Cass, then the book's not going to work for you because the main crux of the whole book is their relationship, their friendship, right? So you're both absolutely right. The art is caricaturesque in some places. It's highlighting how Trayman's felt Cass is, as you said, Matthew, to the point of anorexia. I love the quiz show. I don't know if you guys remember it, but there was an episode of The Batman with Clue Master in, who he was a kid who'd gone back and it was some sort of quiz genius and he got a question wrong. And lo and behold, he went and took revenge on all of the rest of the people who were playing at the time. And Batman got caught up in it. And of course, he was like, ask me anything, I know anything. And Batman said, who is the Batman? And of course, he got stumped, and that's how Batman went out of it. Just the zaniness of that cartoon show quiz and this quiz just kind of made me laugh. So I was quite pleased by that. But generally speaking, I enjoyed this book. But then again, I'm a Batgirls fan, so what would you expect me to say, right?
Right.
Right? Yeah, we all are victims of our own likes. All right. God damn it.
What?
We've got time.
We do have
What are you
time.
talking about? No, we don't.
We do.
No, I don't. Oh, we're quickly approaching. We're at 45 minutes, Johnny. We gotta go.
Yeah, we've got time. Oh my God. All right. So, as a special treat for everybody, we have another book to look at. Yay. And this one was selected again by me because I'm a moron. Is basically what you want to look at. Well, mainly because the whole Lazarus thing's a bit of a thing going on, a bit of an event. So this is Lazarus Planet Dark Fate #1. There's a whole host of creators on this. So as always, when we do the creator heavy books, was there any particular story that stood out? I will say right now that I picked this because I like the Huntress. Admittedly, the story goes absolutely nowhere because this is a catalogue book. What I mean by that is it's buy this to find out what's coming in late this year, guys and girls.
And we all know how much we love those.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, so I quite like the Huntress story, to be honest.
Yeah. The Huntress
Huntress
story was probably
the best out of the bunch, right?
one. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Matthew, was it Huntress for you as well?
Yeah.
Cool. So this was written by Tim Seeley, who's absolutely doing a fantastic job. I believe Tim Seeley, is he not on Nightwing? We all know how much we love Nightwing. Valdemar Rivas is on art. Ivan Placencia is on colors, and Carlos Emanuel is on letters. There you go. Cool. What was it about the Huntress story you liked, Matthew?
The art.
Yeah, that's good.
The art.
Yeah.
It was absolutely killer. The one thing I didn't like about the art was if you go back to the original page, is just her shoes. That's the only thing that bothers me is that there's, for somebody who's supposed to be traversing rooftops, running between, buildings and so on and so forth, just an action hero. There's no ankle support. There's no sole support. It's like I saw the shoes and was just like, those just bother me in some way. I don't know.
There's no ankle support.
There's no ankle support in there, man. It's that's just me. That was my one little discrepancy. But other than that, artwork was fantastic. The fact that Onomatopoeia made an appearance was just really cool. All these smaller superheroes, or not superheroes, sorry, all these smaller villains making an appearance was just a really cool take. The fact that Onomatopoeia just stabbed himself in the face, I was like, oh, that's brutal. But it was interesting story with the return of the moth, the killer moth. Is it killer moth? Yeah.
Killer moth.
Who's supposed to be like the Batman equivalent for the villains, like how superheroes have the Batman. He was supposed to. It's comical how he thought he was going to try to be that, but then took on the moth. The fact that the Huntress stabbed him in the shoulder and made him dangle from the building from that stab wound was brutal. Brutal, but
brutal. Cool.
Really
Excellent.
Really good art.
Excellent. I misspoke. Tom Taylor is the guy on Nightwing, not Tim Seeley. So apologies for getting my Tims and my Toms mixed up. Freyja,
Yes.
what was the best book for you?
I did like the Huntress, but since we already talked about it, I'm gonna talk about my second favorite, which is actually the very last story. The Envoy with it has Constantine and Orphan. In it.
Let me get the credits to this one then, because this is batshit crazy.
Alyssa Wong.
There we go.
Was the writer. Let me get this bigger.
I was unfamiliar with that character. I really like it, specifically because the JRPG aspect of wielding a giant sword.
The giant freaking sword. Yeah,
it was really cool. Artwork was banger.
Yeah, it was great. I like the use of the smoke for the panels. And I like the Jiangxi. This whole thing just was very anime-esque and JRPG or Chinese game, just Asian games and stuff in general. And I love that stuff. So I was very into it the whole time. Also the spirit realm that Orphan gets sucked into looks pretty awesome. And I guess it's going to be continued in Spirit World #1. So it's its own book series. So I will be reading it along with Monkey King. So, but yeah, I thought it was very interesting. And like I said, I like the art style a lot, and I like the inclusion of John Constantine because this is right up his alley with like the ghosts and magic and shit. So it's great. Batgirl, she was the odd man out right here. Orphan was. But, you know, you got to have a Bat family member and everything. So, yeah, I like this one. This one was, I would say, my close second favorite.
Okay, so I put an order in at my local comic book shop and said, look, I'm interested in the Lazarus Planet stuff. Can you make sure I get it, please? And the guy said, yeah. I'm hoping he's forgotten it. So I put that in. Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's the retail on this book. It'll be something ridiculous, won't it? Let me just check. Lazarus Planet.
I do have to say that panel showing Orphan's face without the mask.
She looks like an anime girl, like main
very
character.
attractive. Very attractive.
It's very cute.
Isn't it
Super
Batgirl
cute.
rather than Orphan? So.
I call her Orphan because then we'd be calling. I'll be like, "Hey, Batgirl and Batgirl, how you doing, Batgirl and Batgirl and Batgirl?" Like, no, she's Orphan. The other girl, Morgan. She's Steph. It's like calling every single Robin, like Robin.
If you all rock up in the Robin suit, yeah. It's only $4.99, so I can probably afford that. So it's not that a big a deal. I mean, I made the mistake of saying that I was interested in the one bad day thing, and I ended up having to pick up the Bane book. I was like, why? Because you pre-order it, right? So comic shops have got to make money, I suppose.
But the Bane book was fantastic, Johnny.
I'll send it to you.
We all loved it.
You send me your address at the end of the show, and I'll send it to you. Right? What more can I say? I don't know. I don't know what I expected. But a catalog book telling me stuff that's going to happen down the line. I'm just not interested. I want a book that actually progresses the story along. I don't need to know the ins and outs of what happened in Gotham or the ins and outs happened to something else. I'm just not interested whatsoever in the Flash story. It just absolutely has no interest in me at all. I wasn't too fussed about the Doom Patrol either. So Huntress or nothing for me on that one. Yeah, Huntress or nothing for me. There you go. Cool. So, what a packed show you've had. You've had opinions on Catwoman, opinions of Batman, and 4 comic books.
A lot of stuff, man.
A lot of stuff to go through. Excellent.
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, we'll call it there for this week. Freyja, Matthew, thank you for joining me.
No problem.
Yeah.
Don't forget to check out the new CPN for all your favorite shows, including Freyja.
K-Pop Cosmos, where we talk about and highlight K-pop groups.
Cool. New episode just around the corner, I believe, is it not?
Yeah, we have one every month. And we just had one drop, so.
Perfecto.
Yeah.
All right, Matthew.
Magic Crusaders, where we discuss Magic the Gathering, whether it be cards, combos, or even do deck techs, and show gameplay every now and then. The most recent episode that we did had a little bit of everything in it, so go check it out.
Cool. Sweet. Excellent. Sounds like this show. And of course, you saw the advert for No Prize Podcast. And if you were looking, if you're not sick of all the lovey-dovey stuff that happened during Valentine's, don't forget to check out the Old Timers Comic Book Show, where there is a love triangle special out just for Valentine's Day. What more could you want? All right. I've been your host, John Machine Hughes, and as always, adios.
Bye.
Bye-bye.